What is going on in this crazy market? Today on Real Talk, we have special guest Sean Cowan, and we're going to get right down into it. Hello, today we have the wonderful Sean Cowan joining us. Thanks for coming on, Sean.
My pleasure.
We thought you could illuminate some of the question marks. I think there's nobody better than you who can do it. What is going on right now with the market? What are all these things happening on MLS and offer dates and things like that?
I guess the best word to say, it's changing a little bit, right? It's not what it was 1 month ago. It's definitely not what it was 3 months ago.
No.
So is there as much competition? I'm probably fair to say no. What do you think?
No, there's not as much competition, but in certain cases there still is. For a really hot commodity, something that's really polished up, they're still getting the offers.
Definitely.
But we're really doing a 180 on our strategies in a lot of cases.
Yeah. What we're really seeing too is homes are listed perhaps a little bit aggressively, and then come offer night, they may not actually get the price that they want. So maybe they might be hoping for 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 over asking, and then what actually happens if they don't get that, then the listing gets canceled, and then you see it reposted the next day for a higher price, and then the buyers are going, what's going on? I made an offer, why didn't they accept my offer? Because the market is changing a little bit.
Yeah, it's really confusing when you're looking on MLS and you see something listed at, let's say $899, and then a week later you see it listed for over $1 million because they either didn't get offers or the offers that they got weren't satisfactory.
Because maybe that street was getting over $1 million, over 1.2 4 months ago when they had 20, 30 offers. Now there might be, as we've been seeing on our team, maybe 2 to 10 offers, so not as many offers, which means maybe the price doesn't go like this.
So very reminiscent of what we saw back in 2017 when there was a little bit of a dip, and we might see that when the stats come out for March with the average home sale price.
There's also a lot of, like, the weather is getting warmer, which the spring market is obviously a hot time, but now you can actually go places.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are not stuck at home wondering, what can I do? I can buy a house, and that was one of the few things you could do during the pandemic.
That's true.
We're still in it, but now there's other options, like I can go on vacation, I can go shopping without a mask, I can go see my friends and family, so people aren't so focused on just buying a house.
I think you're absolutely right, yeah. What would be your advice to a seller right now in this market with all these things changing, with interest rates kind of going up, buyers getting a little bit exhausted? What do you think is kind of the best course of action if you're thinking about?
A couple things. If you need to sell or if you're just thinking about selling, either one, have a conversation with a listing agent and really get a broad perspective on what's going on, not only on your street, but in your neighborhood, and look at the comps. See what sold for listing price, see what sold for over listing price, and in some cases, maybe see what sold for under listing price, and see how your home compares. Because what you don't want to do in this market is price it at the wrong price and then have it sit.
100%.
You want to price it at a good price where you're going to get a lot of action in the door, and then sell for a really good price. How do you do that? You have a really good conversation with a listing agent.
And I think it's more important now than ever to keep an eye on what's happening in your direct neighborhood. Maybe having conversation with other local agents in the area. That way you're making sure that you're not listing your house at the same time 2 or 3 other people on your street are listing at the same time, and then diluting those buyers that are looking out that week when your house goes live, and you're making the absolute most when your house is a fresh listing on the market.
And what we were seeing like 2 or 3 months ago is people had a budget maybe in Hamilton or Burlington and couldn't compete, or maybe tried competing, got outbid. They take that money and then they go to Brantford or they go to St. Catharines. But now that the market may be, I don't want to say balancing out because it's still a very strong seller's market. We're not seeing that as much anymore.
I think that's a very important point. If you look at it relatively over the last few years, still very much a seller's market. It's a little bit easier for some buyers to get in the market, but very seller-centric.
100%. Yeah, it's still a seller's market.
Yeah, that's great. That does it. Thank you very much, Sean.
My pleasure, Peter.
Awesome.